Very good morning to all. I hope you are doing great. I'm also good. Very warm welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Reena and I'm so happy to have you here. In today's video, we are going to talk about budgeting and budgetary control, its types and processes, zero based budgeting. So let's understand these topics thoroughly one by one. So, before understanding these topics, let's understand this thing. Why do we need to understand these topics? Basically, budgeting and budgetary control are fundamental to financial management in businesses, government, institutions, and even personal finances. So, let's understand this with an example. Let's the example of a home. So, it's the myth, or you can say it's the responsibility of the father to manage the budget, to manage the finance for whole month, for the year. Okay, so basically, what happened? The father allot a different budget, different finance according to the need. Some budget for the on daily needs, and some budget for the health issues, and some budget for the education purpose. So it's very important to manage the budget. If father is unable to manage the budget, then everything is get destroyed, get disturbed. You are not able to fulfill the needs and wants of the family after some time. You have to borrow the money from the others. So that's why it's very important to manage the budget because we have limited resources for earning. So that's why it's our responsibility how you spend money in the different things. So basically, by understanding these concepts is crucial for the following reasons. First reason is efficient resource allocation. Second reason is financial stability. And third one is performance monitoring. And the fourth one is strategic planning. So let's understand these four reasons one by one. In efficient resource allocation, that means it ensures that financial resources are used effectively and directed towards priority areas. In case of financial stability, it helps the businesses and individuals to avoid overspending and maintain the financial health that I already mentioned in the example. Okay, so it's very important to manage the budget because if you are able to manage the budget, then you can avoid the overspending. So that's why in the future, in the upcoming days, the business not get trapped in the risk. It is and the other reason is also the performance monitoring. It enables the organization to compare the actual performance with planned target and facilitating corrective action. It is also very helpful for strategic planning. It supports the long-term financial planning and decision making. And the next reason we have the cost control. It helps in identifying and eliminating unnecessary expenditure. It improving overall financial efficiency. It is also very helpful in accountability and transparency. It promotes the responsible financial management by justifying expenses and ensuring that funds are used appropriately. By mastering budgeting and budgetary control, businesses can enhance profitability. Governments can manage public funds efficiently, and individuals can achieve financial stability. So, next we have the introduction to budgeting and budgetary control. So, let's understand these topics thoroughly one by one. So, first of all, let's understand the definition of budgeting and budgetary control. And after that, we will move to the objectives of budgeting and budgetary control. So, let's understand the meaning of budgeting. Budgeting is the process of creating a financial plan that outlines an organization expected income and expenses over a specific period. It helps in businesses allocate resources efficiently, set financial goals, and ensure financial stability. What is budgetary control? So let's understand this definition. Basically, budgetary control is a system used by businesses to monitor actual performance, actual financial performance against the planned budget. It helps in ensuring that expenses do not exceed income and assist in corrective action when financial deviation occur. So what are the objectives of budgeting and budgetary control? It ensures the efficient allocation of resources. It improves the financial planning and forecasting. Apart from that, it is also the objective they set the financial discipline and accountability. It also helpful to identify the potential risk and take preventive measures. It also enhances the decision making through financial transparency. So these are the types of budget. Budget can be classified into different types based on their purpose and structure. The major types include: first, we have based on time period, and based on flexibility, based on functions. So let's understand these one by one. So, based on time period, that means it is divided into two parts: short term budget, long term budget. Short term budget, that means it covers a period of up to 1 year. Monthly or quarterly budget, you have to manage the budget for month or year. Next, we have long term budget. It means it covers a period of more than 1 year. For example, capital investment budget. Next, we have based on flexibility. It is also divided into two parts: fixed budget and flexible budget. Fixed budget, that means a budget that remains unchanged regardless of business activity levels. And it is also stable for stable businesses with predictable cost. For example, the government budget for infrastructure project. Next, we have flexible budget. That means it adjusts according to changes in business activity. It is also useful for businesses with fluctuating demand. For example, a manufacturing company adjusting raw material cost based on production levels. Next, we have based on functions. So basically, it divided into six parts: operating budget, financial budget, sales budget, production budget, cash budget, capital expenditure budget. So let's understand these one by one. Operating budget, that means it focuses on revenue and expenses related to daily businesses operation. It includes the sales, production, and administrative budget. Next, we have the financial budget. That means it focuses on long term financial planning, including capital investment and cash inflows. It includes the capital expenditure and cash flow budget. Next, we have the sale budget, the project expected sales volume and revenue. It helps in businesses in setting sales target and pricing strategies. After that, we have production budget, which estimate the number of units to be produced to meet sales demand. And it includes the cost for raw material, labor, and factory overhead. Next, we have the cash budget. That means it predicts cash inflows and outflows over a period. It helps in managing liquidity and ensuring smooth operation. Next, we have capital expenditure budget. That means it plans for major investment in fixed asset like machinery, building, and technology. And the last one, we have the master budget, a consolidated budget that include all individual budget. It provide a complete financial picture of the organization. Next topic we have budgetary control process. So let's understand this process one by one with the help of different steps. Budgetary control involves the monitoring financial performance and making necessary adjustment to achieve financial goals. And these are the steps in budgetary control. First one we have budget preparation. That means to establish the financial objective and also estimate the expected income and expenses and also set the target for different department. Next step we have approval of budget. After setting the target for income or expenses, approve of budget. Top management reviews and approves the budget. After that, implementation of budget. Department allocate resources based on the approved budget. And also, the fourth step is monitoring and comparison. Actual financial performance is compared with the budgeted figures, and variance analysis is conducted to identify deviations. Next, we have the corrective actions. If significant variance occurs and corrective measures are taken, for example, reducing discrepancy expenses if cost exceed budget limit. Next, we have the budget review and revision. Budget are revised based on changing business conditions. For example, adjusting marketing budget if sales projection change. And the last topic we have the zero based budgeting. What is zero based budgeting? Zero based budgeting is a budgeting approach where each expense must be justified from scratch rather than being based on past budget. Unlike traditional budgeting, where last year budget serves as the base and zero based budgeting start from zero. First, we have the principles of zero based budgeting. That means no automatic allocation, focus on necessity, cost reduction, and efficiency. So, these are the principles of zero based budgeting. No automatic allocation, that means every department must justify its expenses, and also focus on necessity, that means expenditure are ranked based on their importance. And next we have the cost reduction and efficiency. It helps in eliminating unnecessary expenses. And next step we have the steps in zero based budgeting. First one we have identify decision unit. That means each department or function is considered as a decision unit. And the next step we have justify every expense. That means each department must justify its budget requirement based on expected benefits. Next step we have rank expenditure by priority. That means essential expenditure are approved first, followed by discrepancy expenses. Next step we have allocate resources based on justification. That means budget is approved only in necessary and high priority activities. Next we have monitor and review. That means expenses are tracked to ensure compliance with the approved budget. And these are the advantages of zero based budgeting and disadvantages of zero based budgeting. So, first advantage of zero based budgeting is it eliminates unnecessary expenses and it also increases cost effective decision making. It also aligns spending with business priorities, and also increases transparency and accountability. Next, we have the disadvantages of zero based budgeting. Time consuming and complex process. It also requires the significant effort and detail analysis. It may lead to resistance from employees due to frequent budget scrutiny. So these are the differences between the traditional budgeting and zero based budgeting. So there are the different aspects, and these are the traditional budgeting and zero based budgeting. So there are the common aspect where you can compare the traditional budgeting as well as zero based budgeting. So basically, base for budget in case of traditional budgeting, previous year budget is adjusted, and in case of zero based budgeting, base for budget start from zero every year. And in case of traditional budgeting, expense justification, only new expenses need justification. And in case of zero based budgeting, expenses justification, where every expense must be justified. And in case of traditional budgeting, there is the cost efficiency. That means it may include unnecessary expenses from past budget. And in case of zero based budgeting, that means it focus on cost cutting and efficiency. Next, we have traditional budgeting where flexibility should be there. That means less flexible based on historical data. And in case of zero based budgeting, highly flexible, adapt to current needs. And in case of traditional budgeting, it's easier to implement. And in case of zero based budgeting, it required the detailed analysis and effort. So, come to the conclusion of these topics. Budgeting and budgetary control are essential for financial planning and management. Different type of budget help the businesses to allocate resources efficiency, while budgetary control ensures that financial targets are met. And zero based budgeting provide a modern approach by prioritizing cost efficiency and accountability. By implementing effective budgeting technique, organizations can enhance financial discipline and achieve the sustainable growth. So that is all about for the today's video. Thank you so much. If you like this video, then do like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Take care.